Hello, Tim from Fair Play Now on the 3rd of June 2023, and second day here at the Better Way conference. Got here fairly early and it's still pretty quiet around here, so making the most of the time to try and interview a few people without the hubbub that I had yesterday. But before I get on to that, if you ever come to Bath either for future conferences or just to visit the city, instead of doing what I did yesterday, using the city centre car parks, which cost, well, it's ridiculous, man. It's about £15, £16 a day, or £26 for 24 hours. But if you just go on the park and ride, £3.60 for the whole day, and the bus ride as well, in and out of town. So a bit of a difference, so just a little tip there for you. But like I say, it's a bit early, so there's some people milling around who I wanted to speak to, and you never guess who I've just spoken to. Richard Vobes and his lovely lady, Julia, and we had a fantastic conversation, very natural, candid conversation about our sort of awakening journeys, really. And I can honestly say, having seen him in 3D, he's sort of just as genuine, nice a guy as he appears in his videos. So kind of can highly endorse him and Julia as well. They're just very nice, genuine people who, like me and you, are concerned about what's going on in the world, and we want to play our part in sort of changing things. So I'm going to let you go and see the video. I'll just carry on at the end of this, so keep on watching. Tim from Fair Play Now, thanks for watching. So look who I've come across here, Richard Vobes and the lovely Julia, is it?
The lovely Julia.
That's
supposedly.
it. Yes, so nice to meet you. I've watched a fair few of your videos and much appreciate your channel. But what brings you here to the Better Way conference this weekend?
Well, I was actually invited by Dr. Tess Laurie to come here and run a couple of panels, discussion panels. I'd interviewed her on my channel, and she said, "Oh, you seem to have a lot of energy and a lot of fun." So I'm here because my channel, I'm quite new to this whole thing. I've only been talking about this issue for about six months now, but the channel has just escalated like that, and I've been interviewing lots of these wonderful people who are trying to find a different way, a better way, as the conference is called, to improve our life and push back against the terrors of the dictating governments, the WEF, the WHO, and all the monstrosities that are coming down the pipe. Mm-hmm. So I'm running these panels, and we did one yesterday, very successful.
Yes.
Lots of amazing chat about food, fake food, real food, and
Food
where
for
we should go.
Food as medicine.
Right, yes.
All of that, yeah.
Yeah.
So it's so inspirational because there's just so many interesting people.
It's just wonderful being here amongst so many people who think and feel the same way. You know?
Like-minded people.
Yes,
Yeah.
and not having to censor yourself every other word.
Yes, there's no terms and conditions to
Yes.
worry about, so you
No.
can say all those words, which obviously you can't on video so
we don't
easily.
have to condition our terms.
Yes.
Exactly, yeah. You don't have to have those awkward conversations with friends and family that you have. so often.
Absolutely, yeah. And everyone's on the same. And the thing is, people are at different levels. They've gone down different depths of the rabbit hole.
Of the rabbit warren.
Yeah. So you're learning all the time and sharing what you know as well, which is fantastic.
Yeah, and that's what I like to do. I like to sort of come across things, whether it's a video or written articles, and just digest them, and if I think it's worthwhile, share them, and get the information out there. Isn't it?
Getting people to think, and to think differently, and to be critical in their thinking, so they're not just following what everybody else does, and starting to take back that responsibility for their own lives, which is what we've all got to do now.
Yes.
Yeah. So when did you first become aware that things weren't all they seemed, as it were?
I suppose my awakening started during Brexit funnily enough, because on the political side, I was just aware that all the mainstream media and the politicians were very heavily pushing one direction, and they weren't giving balance to the other side. Now, I happen to be a Brexiter. I happen to believe in our country. I think we're very bright and clever people, and we can stand up on our own, and we've done it before, and I think we can do it again. But I have respect for those that think differently. And when I started to see how manipulative the mainstream media were with their message, it put me on edge. So I started to wake. And of course, when we got into the pandemic period, you could see that ramped up 20-fold. I mean, it was ridiculous. So then you start talking to people, and people start saying, no, Richard, shut up, you're an idiot.
I mean, even I was kind of one of those. We were doing the Vobes show lives at the time, weren't we?
Yeah, we
and
did.
you really wanted to talk about it then. And I was like, no, we'll get cancelled.
Yeah. So,
But,
why did you, or what made you take that decision to start talking about all this kind of thing?
In the end,
in the end.
In the end, you have to. In the end, I just felt it's so obvious, and it's like the elephant in the room back then. And you just had to take the stance. Where am I in this? I'm here. I'm drawing the line in the sand. This is the side I'm on, and I believe I'm on the side of truth. I believe in freedom. I believe in sovereignty. I believe. My advantage, I think, is that I've never been an employee of a large corporation. I've always been self-employed, so I've always had to fend for
not
myself.
institutionalised.
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, it's an awful way.
You and me both.
It's an awful way.
So I think that really helps to make you look at things somewhat differently, because you're not having to appeal to people above you or appease things. You can be independent, and I think that's what made me start to think, actually, do you know what, this is wrong. This is just so wrong. We shouldn't be doing this. Why are people not, when you're ill, why are you being sent home until you're blue in the face and can barely breathe, and that's the only time you go to hospital? But now I argue, who's got any trust in the doctors, in hospitals? Who's got trust in that? And why aren't we actually doing something about it ourselves? And instead of deferring everything to governments, to the schools, to the health organisation, why are we not?
Yeah, we've done that far too much, haven't we?
You're just giving it all away for convenience.
That's
It's
it,
nonsense.
yeah. Trading our sovereignty for convenience.
Yeah.
And I think that's, I thought it was a logical thing to do until 3 years ago.
Yeah.
And then,
Well, the thing is, we were all duped into it. But fortunately,
Lulled.
yes,
Yeah.
people are waking up, and I think never before people are waking up in the numbers. And so, what an amazing time to be alive.
Yes, and you're certainly playing your part in getting the word out
My
there.
tiny little part in
Yeah.
there.
That first opinion video you did about mentioning Neil Oliver, and that went viral, didn't it?
Yeah.
Absolutely viral.
Catapulted the channel.
And then
right
his
up.
thank you video the next day went viral. So we were like, people want to talk about this. People want to hear this. People want to need a space for this. So.
They do indeed, and I'm just sort of, my day job's an electrician, but I started speaking out, and I've got sort of a channel, not nearly as big as yours, but
growing.
It's growing, and it's a decent little number, so, but I felt I've got to do it.
Yeah, I think you've got to.
do it.
I mean, it's one of the weird things is people keep coming up to us and saying, well, you're so brave for talking out. And you just think, it's not really brave. You just got to. You're just being honest. You're just being genuine. You're just saying, it's just not right.
Got to
We
be true
cannot.
to you.
Yeah. And I think slowly people are realising it's not right to be like this, to be oppressed in this way. Very subtly. It's all very subtle. And so even my son, my eldest son, thinks I'm a nut job.
I think my mum does.
But he's not far wrong.
And I might be a nut job in a different way, but
not on this.
but not on this, So
Exactly, yeah.
history will prove.
Indeed, we are on the right side of history. I've never been more convinced that we are right.
To be honest, I mean, it'd be nice if we were wrong.
It would.
So, we can't have any regrets if we were to be wrong, but I think we know how we feel and we know how we are.
But we can't be complacent either.
No,
That's the thing.
I've said that many a time. I wish I was wrong, Tim, you got that wrong. You got that so wrong. Hands up. I'm glad I got it wrong.
If we were all wrong and everything was fine, but
That'd
we deep down know
That's
that
it.
we've got
Something
a
is
fight on our
innately wrong.
hands. We've definitely got a fight on our hands, but it's one we're going to win.
A
And I think-
peaceful but forceful
Yeah.
battle.
I've never been more convinced that we'd win. Even back in the darkest days of 2020, 2021, I kind of knew in the end we would win. And then when I went on the first London marches in 2021 and saw the numbers there,
Yeah.
I thought, wow. And then all these channels like yours growing hugely.
And conferences like this. I mean, can you imagine being this open and this big a gathering?
Exactly,
I
yeah.
mean, a year ago when they did the first one, special enough. This year, when we're more in the open, it's such a wonderful feeling, isn't it?
Yeah, this is going to get millions, tens of millions of views, isn't it? All the footage from the weekend.
That's the hope.
Yeah. So
Assimilate, disseminate.
that's it. Yes. Right. So I've held you up long enough.
That's all right.
Thank
Thank
you
you
very
so
much
much.
for your
Bobs.
valuable time. And,
Lovely to meet you.
And you too. And thank you for what you're doing.
And good luck. Keep subscribing to Tim's channel, and all will be well.
Thank you, and to Richard's channel.
And the English couple.
That's it, the English couple, yes. So, just for people who don't know, your channel is...
Richard Vobes is the main channel, and we have a sister channel, The English Couple. And that's it.
Brilliant. Well, thank
Thank
you
you
very
so
much.
much.
Thank you. Cheers.